Emerging trends in software engineering. So, what are the major emerging trends in the software engineering? We are going to have a look on these. So, the trends, that is the challenges we face when we try to isolate meaningful technology trends. That is, what factors determine the success of a trend. In software engineering, of course, we are talking about what life cycle does a trend follow, how early can a successful trend be identified, and what aspects of evolution are controllable. So Ray argues that the technological evolution is similar to the biological evolution, but occurs at a rate that is orders of magnitude very fast or faster than this biological evolution. So evolution, whether it may be a biological or a technological evolution, occurs as a result of positive feedback. That is, the more capable methods resulting from one stage of evolutionary progress are used to create the next stage. This is the technology innovation cycle, as we have seen that the person adoption, that is when something starts, we say it is a breakthrough. Then we need to have the replicator. Then empirical aspect. Then it becomes a theory. Then we can or we may be able to automate it. So automation, and then the maturity. Now it is mature. Then only we can adopt or put into practice whatever has come as a breakthrough. This is the technology innovation cycle. So when we observe these software engineering trends, Barry Boehm, the master of software engineering, he suggested that the software engineers will face the often formidable challenges of dealing with rapid change, uncertainty and emergence, dependability, diversity and interdependence, but they also have opportunities to make significant contributions that will make a difference for the better. But what of more modest, short-term innovation tools and methods? What about them? The hype cycle, as we talk about this, when something comes, it is understood to be hype. So a technology trigger, say a research breakthrough or a launch of something innovative, a new product which is innovative that leads to media coverage and public enthusiasm, everyone is after that. And then peak of inflated expectations, means over enthusiasm and overly optimistic projections of impact, which are based on limited but well publicized successes. Then comes the disillusionment. Overly optimistic projections of impact are not met. Critics begin to drumbeat, the technology becomes unfashionable among the cognoscenti. Then the slope of enlightenment. Enlightenment means growing usage by a wide variety of companies, lead to a better understanding of the technology true potential, and off-the-shelf methods and tools emerge to support the technology. If it is good, people are going to support it. Then the plateau of productivity. So real-world benefits are now obvious, and usage penetrates a significant percentage of the potential market. So this is the hype cycle. Here, the technology trigger. These are the peak of inflated expectation. This is the trough of disillusionment, and these are the slope of enlightenment, and finally the plateau of productivity. This is how the visibility increases or decreases. Then the software trends or soft trends are connectivity and collaboration, that is enabled by the high bandwidth communication. So connectivity and collaboration has already led to a software teams that do not occupy the same physical space. That is telecommunicating and part-time employment in a local context. Globalization leads to a diverse workforce in terms of language, culture, problem resolution, management philosophy, communication priorities, and person-to-person interaction. Then an aging population, this implies that many experienced software engineers and managers will be leaving the field over the coming decade. The software engineering community must respond with a viable mechanism that capture the knowledge of these aging managers and technologists. And consumer spending in emerging economies will double to some amount. Maybe this amount I cannot speak right now, because by the time I'm speaking, it would have grown many fold. So there is a little doubt that a non-trivial percentage of this spending will be applied to products and services that have a digital component, that are software based or over software driven. Then managing complexity in relatively near future, systems requiring over say 1 million line of code will begin to emerge. So just consider the interface for this billion line of code system, both from to the outside world, to other interoperable system, to the internet, and to the millions of internal components that must all work together to make this computing monster operate successfully. This much of line of code. So is there a reliable way to ensure that all of these connections will allow information to flow properly? Consider the project itself, consider the number of people or their location who will be doing the work, and consider the engineering challenge, and consider the challenge of quality assurance. Then we come to the open world software. Concepts such as ambient intelligence, context-aware applications, and pervasive ubiquitous computing all focus on integrating software-based systems into an environment far broader than anything to date. So open world software that is designed to adapt to the continuously changing environment by self-organizing its structure and self-adapting its behavior. The emerging requirements in software engineering system becomes more complex. Requirements will emerge as everyone involved in the engineering and construction of complex system learns more about it. The environment is which is it is to reside, and the user who is going to or who will be going to interact with it. So this reality implies a number of software engineering trends. The process model must be designed to embrace the change and adopt the basic tenets of the agile philosophy. The methods that yield the engineering models, like the requirement and design model, this must be used judiciously because those models will change repeatedly as more knowledge about the system is acquired, and tools that support both process and methods must make adaptation change easy. Then the software building blocks. What does it mean? The software engineering community, it attempts to capture the past knowledge and reuse the proven solution, but a significant percentage of the software that is built today continues to be built from the scratch, right from the beginning. So part of the reason for this is continuing desire by say stakeholders or software engineering practitioners for something which is unique. So they want the unique solution. And merchant software, the software building blocks designed specifically for a unique application domain, for example, voice over IP, Internet Protocol devices. Now comes the open source. So open source is a development method for software that harnesses the power of distributed peer review and transparency of process. The promise of open source is better quality, high reliability, more flexibility, lower cost, and end-to-end predatory vendor lock-in. So the term open source, when applied to computer software, implies that the software engineering products, say models of source code test suites, are open to the public and can be reviewed and extended by anyone with interest and permission. In the technology directions, the process trends are like this. As SPI frameworks evolve, they will emphasize strategies that focus on goal orientation and product innovation. And because software engineers have a good sense of where the process is weak, process changes should generally be driven by their needs and should start from the bottom up. The automated SPT, software process technology, will move away from global process management, that is broad-based support of the entire software process, to focus on those aspects of the software process that can best benefit from the automation. And greater emphasis will be placed on the return on investment of SPI activities, and as time progresses, the software community may come to understand that expertise in sociology and anthropology may have much of more to do with successful SPI as other more technical disciplines are. So new modes of learning may facilitate the transition to a more effective software process. Then the grand challenge, there is one trend that is undeniable, you cannot deny it. Software-based system will undoubtedly become bigger and more complex as the time will pass. So it is the engineering of these large complex systems, regardless of the delivery platform or the application domain, that poses the grand challenge for software engineers. So what will be their approaches for us? Key approaches: more effective, distributed, and collaborative software engineering philosophy, better requirements engineering approach, a more robust approach to model-driven development, and the better software tools. In the collaborative development today, software engineers collaborate across time zones and international boundaries, and every one of them must share information. So the challenge over the next decade is to develop methods and tools that facilitate their collaboration. And there are certain critical success factors, that is the shared goals, culture, process, and responsibilities. All these are shared. In the requirements engineering, to improve the manner in which the requirements are defined, the software engineering community will likely implement three distinct sub-processes as requirement engineering is conducted. That is, improved knowledge acquisition and knowledge sharing that allows more complete understanding of the application domain constraints and the stakeholder needs, and greater emphasis on iteration as requirements are defined, and more effective communication and coordination tools that enable all stakeholders to collaborate effectively. In the model-driven development, this couples domain-specific modeling language with the transformation engines and generators in a way that facilitates the representation of abstraction of high levels and then transform into the low levels. This is model-driven development. In domain-specific model languages, it represents the application structure, behavior, requirements within the particular application domain, and it also describes the meta models that define the relationship among concepts in the domain and precisely specify the key semantics and constraints associated with these domain concepts. Then the test-driven development, In test-driven development (TDD), requirements for a software component serve as the basis for the creation of a series of test cases that exercise the interface and attempt to find errors in the data structure and functionality delivered by the component. And this TDD is not really a new technology, but rather a trend that emphasizes the design of test cases before the creation of source code, and just continue to emphasize the importance of software architecture. So first we create a test case, we write a new code segment, we run the test. So before doing everything, we create a test case, and we find it. If it finds error, we refactor, correct this code segment, and again run the test. It does not or did not find the error. No tests remain to be created. We stop. Otherwise, tests remain to be created. We again create the test case. So the tools trends in software engineering, they are client side coordination layer, server side coordination layer. There are other sides and teams also which are interacting. It may be a communication system, resource management system, or work product management system, or the server side, all these workplace handler, process definition tool, project management tool, workflow engine, this workflow support database. These are the tool trends in software engineering. Thank you so much. This was a very basic idea about the trends which are emerging as discussed by Dr. Pressman in his book.